Welcome, everybody, to another amazing episode of Sharing Your Journeys with me and Soska. So, we're back for part four because we could not leave you on such a cliffhanger
Yeah.
on our part three, considering we're going to be talking about public encasement.
Oh
So, of
yeah.
course, we had to come back ASAP to make sure this pod comes out super quick. So, without further ado, Soska, let's get right into it. Public encasement, talk to me.
Oh man. So I recently started doing public encasement just to
Mm-hmm.
really sort of get the feel of it, because what we do as sort of encasement dolls is we're very private,
Mm-hmm.
and you rarely see encasement sort of with nylons in a public forum. More so, it's
Yeah.
just latex or
Yeah.
leather or any sort of rubber. So I wanted to do it, and let's just say it's probably the best thing I've ever done as an encasement enthusiast.
Amazing. Because I was gonna say, what is it like? Because I did see sneak peeks
Yeah.
on your stories for Halloween, which I thought was the perfect time to do it
Oh yeah,
actually.
that was the only reason to really do it though, because most people just
Yeah,
construe it as a Halloween costume.
exactly. No one
So
is
that's
gonna be
why,
questioning that.
I did it, and I've noticed other people doing it too. Because
Mm-hmm.
we've seen, I've just like we talked about in our last part, the rise of
Mm-hmm.
encasement. I've also noticed the
Yes.
rise of public encasement as well. So like the best example for that would be Silk Living Doll.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
I've heard of them. Yep.
Oh my gosh, she is literally the perfect doll, nylon doll. I've never seen someone done it on sort of that level. I think she's from New York.
Yeah, I
So
don't really know where she's from,
I've
to
seen
be
her post. It
honest.
looks like New York. So she's like, I've seen posts of her at like Grand Central Station, fully dolled up,
Oh, okay.
full like, and it's like a nylon zentai. So it's sort of a fusion between what you're wearing and what I'm wearing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But she takes it to the next level, with doll masking and the zentai underneath the doll face and sheer
Wow.
layers and everything. And she does it on sort of such that high level. So I wanted to try it on myself, and it was so much fun, so much fun. I
I'm
could not believe
glad
it.
you had an amazing time.
I could
Any
not believe.
so any cons to it though? Because
Oh,
I know there's going to be tons of pros, but I want to know were there any cons to doing it in public?
so first con was, let's start with let's see, let's start with just the obvious one, which is the vision part.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Mm-hmm.
I did the encasement I did on our last part was what I actually wore in public. It was a bit more darker, a bit
Yeah.
more monotone, so you couldn't see as well.
Mm-hmm.
So that made it really tough to see. And I love shine, but
Yeah.
shine and light don't really work well if you want to see.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Because obviously, we're in public, there's traffic lights, there's like street lights and everything. All the lights glaring sort of
Yeah.
blinded me most of the time.
Oh God.
You're walking and you're just like, I can't see what's in front of me. Sometimes,
Yeah.
when the light glares right at you. So, like, for example, I'm in CDR in case if a light shine bright in my face right now, I would not see anything because there's
Wow.
no, because
Okay.
it's not like it doesn't filter the light because it's shiny. It just sort of enhances the light, right? That's what shine is about, enhancing the
Yeah.
light.
Yeah.
So I could not see as well. Uh, Another
Wow.
con I think was sort of getting changed into it. You
Mm.
know, obviously, like you try to change somewhere more privately so that when you
Yeah.
come out in the public sense, it's a bit more. Well, it's more like secretive in a sense where you're just like, oh, I was not in case, now I'm in case.
Mm.
So for me, I got changed like in a park quickly, in a nice private public
Wow.
public bathroom area quickly to get changed. Second I got out, I was like, all right, I'm outside now. If I get spotted, I get spotted, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, second I got outside, it was just finding the location was tough. But once I got outside,
Mm.
and the con of this was obviously if you never encased publicly, the first con obviously was the fear of it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, sort of that shyness you get like all encasement people. Sort of
Yeah.
that's why we all get encased to be anonymous in a sense.
Yeah.
But doing this public encasement was really sort of wow. I was like, oh wow, I'm actually outside now. If someone spots me, it
Yeah.
is what it is. And I did get spotted, oddly enough. I got spotted, I think, at least three, four times. The first time I did it,
Yeah.
but it was Halloween, so no one really said anything.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But then I did it two more times recently, as of late. So I did, let's see, the second one was the same thing, sort of CDRs with a black layer encasement. It was a bit more
Yeah.
shiny and opaque. That one was okay too. I know I got spotted that one, but at that time I was like, whatever. The first time you do it, you get
Yeah.
scared. The second time you're like, it doesn't matter at this point. And then the third time, I haven't posted this one yet. It was I did CDR nude layers only.
Ooh.
So it's just nude on nude. So if you looked at me, all you saw was a really shiny nude
Yeah.
doll in a sense. And
Wow.
that one was obviously more fun, obviously, because number one, I could see better.
Yeah. Yeah.
But number two was just the feeling of it. So we're gonna approach pros now.
Yeah.
So
Hell
first
yeah.
pro, best feeling ever. Best
Yeah.
feeling ever. Because we're outside now and you get the wind blowing and the breeze. And it's also
Mm.
pretty cold as of late, right? So
Yeah.
you sort of stay warm. You get this sort of warm hug the entire time. So that was a big pro. Like I did not feel cold at all. If anything,
Mm.
I wore my encasement and less layered on the clothes.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So I wouldn't sweat too much. And it just
Yeah.
felt natural in that sense where it just felt great to be sort of this nylon doll and just enjoying myself. And I think that's the
Yeah.
perfect segue leading up into your questions now, which is more so about encasement, public, clothes,
Mm.
and everything. So let's start
Yeah.
with some of your stuff now.
Yeah. Because I was gonna say, because I can just imagine it be like quite freeing in a sense as well. Like, because I can only just like imagine and put myself into that situation of, okay, well, if I've only been doing it privately for X amount of time and then
Yeah,
actually going out publicly and especially wearing just nude layers, there's that kind of freeing element to it to be like, wow, even though like I'm encased, it's that whole, but I still feel so like I can do this kind of thing. It's like exactly how you said the first time, it'll be really nerve-wracking,
yeah,
really fearful because you don't know what to expect. But then I suppose the more you do it, the more you kind of realize actually it's okay. It's pretty cool.
yeah,
Um, yeah, I love that. I actually love that.
yeah.
Um, so here's actually a really good question. So I okay, so anybody listening, no judgment here, okay? I've only come across this word recently and I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm just gonna put that out there now. So what's your stance on
Oh,
moiré,
I think it's a
moya?
French word. That's why.
Oh, no bloody wonder.
Yeah,
Um, they put obviously the pattern of layering nylon, which obviously I've come
yeah.
across recently. So somebody put, I usually dislike my face being covered while encased as I cannot see the
The yeah,
moya.
it's pronounced. I think it's pronounced moire or
How?
moire or something. Moire.
Oh God.
Yeah,
Oh
it's a.
right. Okay. I'm
You're
gonna need to
British.
practice
French is
that.
French is definitely not the strong suit, right?
No. I'm all right with French normally, but that word, oh we.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
I mean,
what's
I,
your
I
stance on that actually?
mean,
That's a good question.
I mean, I'm pretty sure you can see it on me right now. It's sort of the moire
Mm,
effect. Sort of the layers and everything.
yeah.
That effect is cool though. I don't, they don't like it, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, I suppose I think it might be like okay on the rest of the body, but I think especially when it's on your face and obviously you're trying to see, I can I can definitely see like, okay, well, yeah, that would be pretty annoying if you're trying to focus on something and then it's just, well,
I think it adds to the cool. I think it adds to the effect of layering in general. That sort of look,
mm,
that moire effect. Some people I really love that sort of look of sort of seeing the patterns of the nylons layering. You know,
yeah,
like right now I can see the moire effect right now through this encasement. Because I have four layers on my face. So right
yeah,
now, if I look straight, I can see sort of the wispy sort of. I call it like
yes,
the lines. I think I call. They say moire effect. I call it like the wood grain effect because it's almost like wood.
yes, Yes. Oh my God. Right. Yes, that's the perfect way of describing it. Is like a wood grain effect. Oh
Like
my
the wood
God, my
grain.
God.
I call it the wood grain effect because you get to see sort of the wavy lines, the sort of circles, like the eye of the
Yes.
wood. I call it.
Yeah.
I think it's a nice look. I would love to see that on somebody, regardless if encasement or not. Sort of just nylons on their legs. You see that, and you're like, oh, she's layering.
Yeah.
She,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I think if you're layering specifically, I think at that point, people who layer are just those who love nylons in general.
Yeah.
Because why
I
would
agree.
you wear two or more of something you don't like? You know, you gotta
Mm,
love it to wear it. You know,
I agree. I
case in point,
agree.
you layering all the time. I hope that
Mm,
felt good, by the way, because I noticed you did. I think you did a 20 den with an 8 den.
yes.
So you had the beautiful sort of base 20 den, and I'm pretty sure the 8 den just felt amazing on
Oh
top.
yeah, 100%. Oh
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
100%. It
yeah.
was nice. And then even like the recent one I've did, it was a 15 underneath and then a 20 on top.
Oh
Um, yeah, and that was really nice. Like it surprised me because it didn't look as dark or
yeah.
anything. But yeah, but this is what I mean. You can have so much fun with layering. That's the beauty about it. It's finding ones that work for you. It's finding ones that you can have fun with. It's finding ones that you think, what the hell am I even thinking?
Oh
But
yeah.
it's all part of the fun. So I hear that.
Yeah.
Um, right, here's a very good question. So, why are men into it more than women?
I don't know actually. I'm always surprised to see that it's more men than women.
Yeah, me
Uh,
too. Me too.
considering I think because women obviously wear the majority of nylons. I think it's like 60-40 women for nylons in terms of
Mm.
sales. So I'm always surprised to see that it's more men encasing. I don't know why, actually. That's an interesting one that I've always wondered. I think maybe it's because we're more men are a bit more outgoing, I guess, in a sense. I don't know.
Yeah, I have to admit it is an interesting one because naturally you'd think like when I've spoken to people about it, they kind of say sort of think, oh, it's more of a fetish kink thing. But
Yeah,
then actually, it's what I've come to learn with a lot of different people, and I've met thousands of different people like online about it, and it can just be, if you're kind of like on the neurodivergent scale,
yeah,
that obviously it's sensory needs and everything that can play a huge part. Sometimes it could just be the feel of it. It's like how that comfort and security
yeah,
of being wrapped up in nylon. So do you know what? I think there's so many different factors
yeah,
that you can't just sort of be like, oh, it's really this, when actually it could be a bit of this and a bit of this and a bit of that combined
yeah,
kind of thing. It's not just, oh, it's a fetish kink and that's it.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
so much more than that.
I always wonder why it's more men though. You're right about that because like
Mm,
I'm thinking about sort of not just in terms of just simply nylon mummification alone,
yeah,
sort of the act of it. That's majority men. I'm gonna say a solid
yeah.
90% men alone. And I see a lot of it on like there's a lot of websites that just showcase nylon mummification, and it's mostly males, you know.
Mm,
And oddly enough, I see a lot of just mummification alone. It's mostly Asian men, if anything.
yeah,
I,
yeah,
for some reason, you know. So people like me, because I see it a lot on. I think it's because of the brands they have or the accessibility to nylons. Obviously, sort of my side of the world, the Western world, nylons isn't the biggest thing.
mm,
I would say it's not as big as say the British.
mm,
You know, you guys wear tights a lot. You guys, Europeans in general, are more fashion sense, and obviously, all the best brands are very European. CDRs,
yeah,
Wolfords, sort of that accessibility to nylons. But then in Asia, nylon's sort of a huge culture.
mm.
You see that a lot, and I think so. Like websites was it Twitter pages like actually that's Twitter X now. Sorry,
Oh yeah.
sites like Yellow Ling. They're a big nylon mummification one. Row Ghost. They have some weird names in
Wow.
Asia. I don't know why they have the weirdest names ever, but they do some of the best nylon mummification work I've ever seen, and it's all guys.
Wow.
It's all guys, sort
It
of
is it is interesting.
all
So
guys encasing each other in nylons, layers and layers.
yeah.
But I think it's the best nylon mummification sort of
Mm,
content I've seen ever. Those guys are just completely dolled up. I think you saw some of my more recent posts where I had help getting into mummification
yeah.
because I
Yeah,
wanted to
yeah,
emulate
yeah.
those guys because That stuff is amazing to me. But it's all guys, like you said. I don't know why
Yeah.
it's all guys. I think if women did it more, I think they would love it too. Because I see a lot of women sort of wearing nylons more and more and more now because sort of the rise has
Mm,
come back with obviously with celebrities wearing nylons and everything. So
mm.
hopefully we'll see more women sort of jumping into the sort of the nylon scene in that sense.
Yeah. Yeah. It'll be, I mean, it'll be good. It'll be good to see, but
Yeah,
it's something, yeah,
if
it's
it's a sensation
something.
thing, they would love it because this it's great, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's interesting. Okay.
yeah,
Well, for everybody, just give me, I don't know, give
yeah.
us maybe some hints as to why men do, or if you
I would love to
do.
know more about this too. I'm intrigued actually right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's an interesting one actually. I'd like to hear what people think about that.
yeah,
Um, so here's another question. Is it the same using thicker deniers? So just say if you were going, say, 60 denier and above
yeah.
layering, would it be the same or is it a bit
It would
more?
feel. I mean, if you love the feeling of nylons, right? I think depending on obviously on the deniers, like thicker ones, they feel a bit tighter.
Mm,
You got more restraint. Then say thinner ones, like thinner ones, they stretch, right? So like a
yeah.
wrap, they stretch very easily. Thicker ones, a bit more restrained because of the thicker material. Thicker ones, I think thicker ones are a bit tougher for encasement in general. Like I said before, because of the
Okay.
tightness, but also being able to see is a big important factor, I think, too. You know,
Okay.
really
Okay.
affects how your vision in that sense. Thicker
Mm,
does work. For example, and I think you would love this. We saw nylon cherry encasing in your
yes.
brand, and I think she did a was it a 40 den one?
No, the After Dark are 70 or 60 or
Wow,
70. Yeah.
she
Oh my
really chose
God,
a
I should know this. I was literally in them the other day.
yeah.
But yeah, they're about 60, 70. I think they're about
Wow.
60.
So yeah, she did
But
a really thicker denier one, and she layered it with CDRs, I believe, as well, right?
yeah.
And it worked,
Yeah.
but very thick, obviously. So probably her vision was somewhat impacted by that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
thicker
yeah.
dens, they would work too. I think it's just down to personal preference. I'm a thinner den person.
Yeah. Mm,
I'm a thinner den
okay.
person because they do
Okay.
feel great. It's like this right now is me is a 20 on 20 on 20 on 20, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but thicker dens do work. They do work
Okay.
100%.
Okay. Well, there
Yeah,
you go, person who put that question in.
yeah.
Um, so can you try it with pattern tights or is she your more favored pairs?
I'm a sheer person.
Mm,
Patterns they do vary, but the patterns do work.
okay.
They do
Okay.
work very well. It
Because
all
even
comes
I've
down to
wondered.
patterns really work. They do work for encasement. We've seen Sherry do it. I think she's the only one who's ever done it. Actually, I've never seen patterned encasement
Mm,
on anybody else.
it's very
Patterns do work.
rare that you do.
Actually, no, not her.
So,
Wrapped in Nylon does it as well. She does pattern
oh,
ones too.
okay.
She did one with heart designs,
Oh, that's
heart tights.
nice.
Those were really cool. Though her work, her stuff is really really good. Check her out; it's really good. But patterns do work. I think for patterns to really
Okay.
work though, they have to be shirt to waist completely.
Yeah.
The
Yeah. No,
pattern has
that
to
does
literally
make
start from
sense.
the toe all the way to throughout.
Yeah.
They do work well. Obviously, even if they're not all the way through, they work just as well. But to get
Mm,
sort of that full encasement, sort of not continuity, evenness, you need a full pattern throughout the whole tight, and it'll create this sort of. I'd say it's really
yeah.
artistic with the pattern tights. Some really good ones. Obviously, pattern tights, depending on the brand and depending on the pattern, they do get very expensive, as you see with
Yeah.
Wolford's. Wolford pattern
Yeah.
tights. Oh my gosh, like
Oh, they're not
60
cheap.
for Canadian dollars, it's like 60 to sometimes $120 per pair.
Yeah.
So if you do
Yeah.
an encasement, it's three pairs for encasement. So if you're doing it with Wolfords, we're approaching almost $400 worth of tights just on one encasement.
Mm-hmm.
Encasement is not cheap, but
No, it's not. It's
it's not
not.
cheap. But in terms of fully covering yourself in a material, it's one of the cheaper alternatives, oddly enough,
Mm,
compared to say rubber, latex. That's just they're way above us on the price
yeah.
point. So nylons alone are much cheaper, and it's
Yeah.
surprising every time I think about it.
Yeah, no, yeah, I suppose it is when you compare it, you think actually, yeah,
I always
overall
get
there
surprised
are a lot.
because I encase a lot, and you always talk to other people who encase. Might not be the same material,
Yeah.
but you do share similar stories all the time about like the feel and how things are going and everything. And you
Mm.
talk to them, and they're like, "How much is yours too?" And they'll be like, "Oh, mine was like $1,000." I'm like, "What?"
Oh my Lord.
And I'm
Oh
just like,
my
"What?" And they're like,
Lord.
"Yeah, it's this." And nylons have that leeway where we're stretchy, right?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Now with rubber or latex, those things are made to fit. So if you tear those, woo, I always get
Yes.
surprised.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the kinky world
God.
is expensive. I'm always surprised by that. So yeah,
Oh no, yeah, yeah. Stuff like that. When it's very, very niche, yeah, it can
yeah,
become very, very expensive.
oh yeah,
Okay, next question. This is a funny one. So have you tried it with Sony's brand with the different colors she has to offer? So that's yet pending.
oh, that's a pending one. Yeah, I haven't tried your stuff yet. I mean, I have your nylons.
Mm.
Some of your seamless ones. I think I have your seamless dot ones. Your Parisian ones,
Oh
I believe.
yeah.
Those are
Yeah,
nice
yeah,
for.
yeah.
Those are nice for. I Your brand is really good for base layering because of the material itself. It's quite soft.
Yeah, I'm glad. I'm
It's quite
glad.
soft and has like a nice cottonness. So because of that sort of cotton sort of feel to it, it creates a great base layer for like layering with something shiny on top.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I haven't tried your glow brand that is like more shiny.
Oh, the glow up. So yeah, so they're the nude pairs I've got in the sheer collection.
Yeah,
That yeah, because they have it in the sheer collection, they have a bit more of a shine to them.
yeah.
So
I would
yeah.
love to try those in encasement one sometime.
Yeah, they would be awesome, actually.
Yeah,
I think they would really be nice in a case, but to be fair.
yeah.
I'd like to see someone try that.
I'd like to see you try it actually, but we'll
No,
see
well,
what happens.
yes. Yeah, that'll be something. Oh, here's a good one. So, what's the max number of layers you have done before?
Oh wow, that's a tough one. It will come down to whether it's two types right now. We'll be like basic encasement, which is I can move and everything.
Yeah.
And then we can also do mummification as well,
Oh,
because
yeah, that's so much more, isn't it?
that's much, much more. So base layering encasement, sort of like this, I think the most I've done, let's see, this is 2 layers of encasement right now. The most I've done, I think it was a video that I think it was Cherry who did a contest one time of who can layer the most.
Yeah.
Cherry actually did that one time. I remember it was a while ago. The most I've done was, let's see, it was one, two, three, four. I think it was four encasements,
Okay.
four, maybe five. That was a tough one because as the layers get up, your hands become sort of mittens. It becomes
Yeah.
impossible to put on. So that one I did, I think it was four. I did a sheer layer, sheer new opaque shiny. Sorry, so sheer shiny, opaque shiny, sheer shiny again, and then the black layer, as you saw.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So that was about four, and that was tough just to breathe alone
Oh, yeah, I can just imagine.
because
So then what
every
about
encase.
Oh, sorry, go on.
No, keep going. Yeah,
No, I was just about to say, well, if you find that tough, then I was going to say, well, what about mummification? Because that's going to be so much more, isn't it?
it's much more, but the mummification layers are a bit stretchier, I guess, and breathable. The material you need.
Oh, okay.
Encasement alone is just tight on the face more so than
Yeah,
anything else.
yeah.
So that one was, I think, because it's four encasements, that's about 8 layers on the face alone. And I think 8 layers for the torso area,
Wow.
right? Because an encasement, it sort of wraps around like this.
Yeah,
So the arms and the legs will always be sort of single digits, but the body is always torso wise, and the head will be double digits because of the layering of it.
yeah.
So yeah, it became really tight in the chest and really tight in the face. So I did four there. So we'll say 8 layers on the face. But mummification, I think I've done, let's see, I did a double layer encasement. So that's four on the face. And then I did, let's see, one, two, three, four, five, roughly 6 layers of mummification right after.
Wow.
Yeah. And this was
Wow.
that was the most I've ever done. That session I did not take any pictures because I forgot, obviously. just
Yeah.
enjoying the moment. But that was six, and that was tough because
That is insane.
every layer, every layer of mummification to make sure it's done right. If you do it alone, it's impossible. But if you have
Yeah.
someone helping you, it really makes the process more fun, obviously, and
Yeah.
it's easier to get into, especially when they have to tie the knots up to sort of keep the mummification adhering. So
Mm.
that was a tough one, six layers, and
Wow.
could
That is
not move.
insane.
Obviously, you make sure breathing is very important in any sort of kinky play of
Yeah.
anything. So
Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, so that one was six layers of mummification with two layers of basic encasement, so four on the face. So it's about 10 layers on the face alone.
Wow.
Yeah,
That it yeah,
it
that
felt like a
is
big hug though. To be honest, it just felt like the biggest nylon hug ever. It
yeah.
was amazing. I would love to do that again. I think one of my more recent sessions I did was more basic. It was, let's see, one, two, three. It was four mummification, just too short. And I think that was
Yeah.
enough. Any more, I think, would be more, would hinder the breathing
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
innings.
It's incredible, honestly. I'm
Yeah.
I'm I'm glad we kind of ended on that question just because it's just I think that's the thing. You can take it as much as you want, I suppose. Obviously, as you said, it's you got to make sure that your breathing's okay. But it's
Yeah.
just I think that's what I find so incredible about it is just it doesn't have to be two layers. It can be so much more than that, or
Oh,
whatever
yeah.
you're kind of comfortable with,
I
just to
think
create
Cherry's,
whatever type of look you want.
I think Cherry's done a layering video on just her head too, right? I think she did like 10, maybe 10 layers or something like
Oh,
that.
has she? Oh, I've
Yeah.
not seen that, and I need to watch that.
Yeah, her content, she posts a lot of various items. I've seen a video there where a girl did, I think it was like 22 layers on her face.
Yeah,
Well, by that point, she was just, I mean, obviously her nose got completely crushed.
yeah.
She
I
was just
could
this
just
sort of anonymous doll face at the end of it.
wow.
Yeah.
That is insane. Oh my
Yeah. I
God.
think people like the pressure of it, on the face.
Yeah, yeah. And that's what I mean. There could be something said about that. I mean, I don't know how a person would feel about it, but then
Yeah.
I know there will be some people who would be like, oh my God, would love that kind of feeling. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Me more
incredible.
so, I like just sort of the smooth sort of sheerness, that sort of
Mm,
smooth feeling of nylons. Pretty sure you feel the same way too, if anything. Wearing nylons,
oh
like you
yeah.
just love that sort of smooth feel of nylons in
Yeah,
general.
yeah,
Layering sort of enhances that, but in terms of like extreme in layering, it really, really, it's more about the pressure of it, if anything else.
yeah. No, I hear that. I
Yeah.
actually hear that. That is that is incredible. Like, oh, I just want to say thank you so much, Oscar, for coming on. Just because honestly, one, I'm so glad we continued
Oh yeah.
from part three.
So
But
many
it's
people have
just
asked to continue part two. They're like, is there gonna be a part three?
yeah,
When is
right,
it
I
gonna
know, same on
happen?
my part. And I'm just like, God, I need to find the time to start this again. But I'm glad that we have, just because it is, you know what, it is a great world, actually. And I think, yeah, and it's speaking to people like you and like, seeing like, for instance, like your Nylon Cherry's Instagram and socials to show the fact that actually there's so it's like how we mentioned in the last episode there's so much more to it and
Yeah,
actually getting to speak to people who do it and the reasons why they do it and how they do it just gives so much of a better insight and actually like and that's what I mean talking to you it's like oh my God I actually really want to try it now compared to if I ever saw it I'd be like what the hell is this I don't
yeah.
know how I feel but it's like little things like zentai suits or like body stockings and stuff kind of eases me in and it's like actually, I'd like to give this a go.
Yeah.
So that's why I just want to say, oh, that bloody, I hate police sirens. But that's why I just want to say, like, they always interrupt me. That's why I just want to say, like, thank you for sharing everything about your encasement journey, just because it gives a real insight and it's just lovely to hear a whole different kind of journey
It's a
altogether with
it's a different
hosiery.
world of pantyhose, right? And tights and
It
everything.
is. It is.
Sort of the
Yeah.
extreme of it, but at the same time, like it may be extreme, but we don't really take it as that. We try to take it more
Yeah.
artistically, if anything.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But no, thank you. I just want to say thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks
And
again,
then
Sony.
potentially we could have another part. If anybody does have some burning questions,
Yeah.
we could always do another part. But I definitely wanted to make sure we got this part in because I was like, there's no way we could leave our last one on a cliffhanger. There was no way we could just leave it as part three and that's it.
Oh
So,
no, no,
so
no.
no. So thank you so much for coming on. I always appreciate you coming on here, Soska, and just it's incredible what you guys do. So thank you.
Thanks, Sony, for allowing us to share sort of our world of pantyhose and nylons.
Yeah.
The different ones.
Anytime.
Thanks for being our spokesperson.
Anytime. Oh, no, anytime, honestly. It's just incredible to meet some really genuine people. And it's like I mentioned, it's not just a fetish or a kink. It's so much more than that. And it's nice
Yeah.
hearing people's stories about that rather than just, well, I'm just in it because of this, and this. And
Oh
it's actually
no.
like, no, it's just there's it's just incredible. And that's what I mean. I got invested in it because of that. So no, anytime. I'm so happy to be a spokesperson in that sense. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yes, and for now, guys, thank you so much for watching and tuning in and listening as well. But yeah, until next time, hopefully we'll get Saskia on again soon. But for now, it will just be all my other amazing guests that are going to be coming on soon. But
Yep.
thank you so much, Saskia, and I will chat to you soon and hopefully catch up with your journey soon.
Cheers. You too.
Bye, darling.